Okay. With that being said, let's talk about international stock exposure. And my only thing about the options is that it's just too many. Like I feel like I don't like to trade too much, but then it's
Less
like
is more.
the one
Yeah.
trade that you don't take, that's the one that actually goes up 3,000%. So that's the only dilemma. It's like you don't, because I like I don't want to have 100 trades,
Yeah.
and
You
then
be
it's
having
like
FOMO?
Yeah, one time he texted me.
it's just like it's like one of those things.
It's tough. It's tough. And you know what I say? Yeah, we're not done. And so a lot of times it'll be a trade in the same company. So Micron, I'm just stacking them.
Layer
right?
them in. Yep.
Just layer it. NVIDIA, stacking it, right?
Yep.
TSM, stack it. SanDisk, stack it, right? It hits a metric, like you said, and it's crazy. And that's why when we talk about like just being aligned with like investing, when you were talking about the 100%, 500%, 1,000%, I'm just sitting there like, yes.
Yeah.
Look, he's saying it right here.
Yeah.
Once it hits some of those metrics, it's like, yeah, we can watch it go to 500%, or we can say, hey, it passed our threshold. Is this an opportunity now to get in the position again at a different strike price? Yeah, it might be, of course, if we believe in the company, and we've seen that happen over and over. So, yeah. Shout out to everybody that's in GLW too. That was, come on.
Before we get to international stocks, can I give a commentary on the $20 stock comment last week? Because I got a little bit of pushback.
That setup was so good. Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the pushback you got over the 20, and we talked about it too after in the car. But yeah, let's talk about it a little bit.
So last week, answered the question: are there any stocks that are great at $20 and below? And last week I said, hey, I have a list for you, and the list was none. And a lot of you had some uproar and some insight on that, which I appreciate the feedback. But I want to give you my feedback as to why. So if you look at Wolf, don't love it, heavy debt, super capital intensive, very high risk, high reward scenario. I don't like it unless it drops to $4.42. RGTI, there's other better players in the space. I think it's going to drop to $1.37. IONQ, I think will drop to $14.31, and SCRV, I think will drop to $2.07. I know a lot of you are in love with USAR. It's a liquidity risk, so at $7.63, it may be okay. And the difference between this era now versus Palantir over a few years ago, or even AMD that I called at 11, 6 years ago, some people are up 1,700% who've been with me in Red Panda for many years, is that the profile of the economy is dramatically different. And we're at the tail end of this cycle of investing. So there aren't as many superstar companies that are going to be available. I'm not trying to burst your bubble, because I know if you missed out on something, like Rashad just talked about, you have that FOMO. So maybe USAR would maybe be the next one that goes up 1,000%. And I'm here to tell you, a lot of these ones that you guys love are not. They don't have the leadership, the product, the profit margin. They don't have the global strategy to do so. Even for like those, I like notoriously have been anti-Intel. Even if you took an option trade in that, you're up 100%. You have to stop confusing a short-term trade with what's a good long-term investment. If you're worried about it longer than 4 years, or I'm gonna just say this too, if you love a company and my opinion affects you, it's not a good investment. I never care what the public said about nothing I picked. AMD, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple, Anthropic, OpenAI, Starlink, doesn't matter. So I know a lot of you are searching for the cheapest stock available, but if Microsoft and Amazon and Apple are pulling back, DraftKings are hitting 2022 lows, this is not the time to play in the bucket of bullshit of the stocks with deep decay. When their CEOs aren't talking, because some of them in them files, now is not the time to play. Now is the time to be conservative. Allegedly. Go in the other sandbox and buy some quality before your executive get exposed over the weekend like some of them did overseas. So be mindful.
No, that wasn't alleged. That actually happened.
Be mindful.
Yeah, DraftKings got hit I mean,
Crazy.
the predictive markets really, really tainted. And I know when we had the conversation last week, and even now, like people are still. I'm going to do a breakdown on SoFi so we can just have an understanding of
It's a lot of
SoFi.
talk around that one too.
Yeah, it's so much because we spoke
Mhm.
about in on the way over to the event about Wolf and
Mhm.
how I felt it would have just been irresponsible for us to say it, and then people were like, "Well, they mentioned it. Uh, do we believe in it though? Not really. I don't think
Yeah.
there's not many that under 20 that I believe in." And
Mhm.
so when you said none, I was just laughing in my head like, "Yo, I really felt that way." I kind of came up with some that maybe they could get acquired, but you know what's interesting? When you said Rigetti, I hadn't even realized that the quantum stocks had pulled back all the way that
So much.
oh my gosh. I didn't even
And the
realize
ones
it.
that are screaming, the one, and it's not 20, but it's in that range of 30.
It's
Um,
16.
the only one that has long term sustainable growth from here is probably APOD. Wolf's not the one. I know, like it was some interest in JM AI as well, but APLD is probably the one in that 20 to 30 range that has high probability of being acquired or being able to go from 30 to 60 to 75. But every company is not Palantir. Every company is not Robinhood. Like Robinhood had an incredible edge and mind share that a lot of these companies just don't have. So be careful, be mindful.
Be mindful. Hit the like button and
Yep.
share. And thank you. I do read comments, so thank you to the person that noted that at checkout it said yearly. That was just a typo. So that's been corrected. That's been updated. It's not yearly. It's a one-time payment. So if you refresh your browser and you go to checkout, you will not see yearly. But it's not yearly. It's just one-time payment for 5-year access.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the top international stocks, or if you should have international stock exposure during this climate.
I think in this climate, it's a great question, but going back to this reminds me of the All-Star game. Like we're in the trenches of a potential global reimagining with some things being leaked which will have an impact on the market. Now is not the time to gamble. Most of the great American companies are multinational corporations anyway. There are a few companies that are great, but to rotate to international stocks just because I think would be a mistake. While Google is having the run that they're having, I gotta commend Sam for the acquisition of Claude, even though that was a one person, 84-day, $1 billion acquisition. It was a win that he needed. Um, Google's dominated Netflix. That's been highlighted. I don't think the time, maybe if Spotify drops to the right price, potentially, but I think just to purely rotate in, when I tell you that whenever we have a pullback in the market, every index is going to feel it. The Bovespa is going to feel it. The German DAX is going to feel it. The Nikkei will feel it. So you aren't going to have an ability to escape the downturn by solely rotating into international stocks. You got to buy the best stocks in the world. Those just happen to be here in America.
Well, some of them,
Yeah,
like
I
TSM.
was gonna say, let's let them in on the
I mean,
secret.
we've already talked about yeah, I agree.
You talking about you're talking about
We've
like
already talked
the
about that
Schnitzen
endlessly.
Arts, the Schnitzen Arts in Germany, like
Yeah.
some no name.
We were talking about excluding ASML, excluding
Excluding TSM that we've already talked about.
excluding Baba.
I like Baba potentially. There's a couple Chinese stocks that I like, but would I put 40% of my net worth
No.
into no, maybe 5%, 10% exposure. If we go like I just want to be real. Like when people say, okay, I would do this, it's like, well, would you put half or all of your net worth there? The answer is usually no.
Yeah,
Amgen, Lilly, happy to lean. Even though Nvidia has been ranging for a long time, that's still a safe bet that I'm not having to worry about long term. Microsoft has already figured out their partnership agreement with OpenAI and Anthropic. So I'm not worried about them over the next 4 or 5 years. And once again, you have to remember sector rotation is for hedge funds for moving client money, not for moving your own personal portfolio. That's how a lot of you miss out on a lot of gains trying to rotate quarter to quarter.
yeah.
So
I think those are those core four, right? Like when we talk about international, if you're going to have some exposure to ASML, TSM, Baba, Mercado Libre. I see somebody put SK Hynix in there, Samsung, because of the story inside of memory. Outside of that, man,
You can't touch.
yeah, I'm
It's
good.
too volatile.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm really good.
So, and if those profit margins aren't 40 to 50%, and everyone thought the same thing with Novo versus Lilly, and they had a precipitous incline and then disastrous fall. So,
Okay, so we're not big on the international stocks. Okay.